Hi there, I'm Sally B., owner, founder, and formulator of Sally B's Skin Yummies. I want to tell you something about myself and why I created this course, Non-Toxic by Design. I didn't set out to become a skincare formulator, I set out to survive. Before any of this, I had an MBA in finance and a career in the corporate world. I became the first female vice president of a large national bank. It was the kind of achievement people notice, but I knew it wasn't where I was meant to be. In 1981, I had married my husband, Jack, and when our 2 children came along, I made a choice. I walked away from corporate life and didn't look back. People ask me sometimes whether I was afraid of the science. Wasn't formulating intimidating? Didn't the chemistry seem out of reach? My father was a chemical engineer who built his own successful company from scratch. My mother went to college at 16, graduated Phi Beta Kappa, and majored in botany, a chemist and a botanist. Neither of them pushed their knowledge in my direction, but being their child made me something. It made me unafraid of the road ahead. There were 8 children in our family, and there is not a turkey in the group. I didn't know it then, but I had been quietly prepared for exactly this. Then in 1990, at 38 years old, I was diagnosed with bone cancer. I spent weeks in the hospital. I had surgery after surgery. And eventually, gratefully, miraculously, I emerged cancer-free, but the treatment left its mark. The radiation and surgeries damaged, removed, or destroyed the lymph nodes in my right groin. What followed was a condition called lymphedema, which means my right leg is now nearly twice the size of my left. It is a major health issue I still live with every single day. In those first years after the hospital, infections came relentlessly. Each time I was handed another round of antibiotics, and after a while, I grew tired of it. I knew something had to change, not just in how I was being treated, but in how I was living. I found my way to an alternative medicine healer who opened a door I didn't know existed. She taught me about eating organically, about juicing, about avoiding processed foods, and about paying attention to what goes on your body, not just in it. I was newly converted and eager. That Christmas, I made her some skincare products I had put together myself, wrapped them up, and brought them to her as a gift. She loved them. And then she asked me one question that changed everything. Are you using organic ingredients? I wasn't. I didn't even know where to start. Whole Foods may have existed somewhere, but not in Atlanta, not that I was aware of. I didn't even know where to start. That one question sent me on a new quest, to look at ingredients in a completely different way. My first attempts at formulating were humble, melt and pour soap kits, simple anhydrous products that required more trial and error than I care to admit. Slowly, I worked my way toward more complex formulas, emulsions, preservatives, actives. I leaned on online communities led by cosmetic chemists who were generous with their knowledge, until the day I told them I wanted to use something other than parabens as a preservative. The conversation went cold. I was on my own. That moment taught me something important. The conventional cosmetic industry and the world I was building were not the same world, and I was okay with that. Around that same time, I went to work for a dermatologist. I was there for 10 years, mostly in administration, but I paid attention to everything. The clinical knowledge I absorbed during those years, layered on top of everything I was teaching myself about botanical formulation, gave me a depth of understanding that I couldn't have gotten any other way. In 2009, I helped start an artist cooperative. I had artists displaying and selling their work, and in a room in the back, I had my lab. I made products and sold them on site. It was scrappy and creative and exactly right. By 2013, Sally Bees had grown enough that I moved into our current space on Miami Circle, and eventually it grew enough to support my family. I started Sally Bees Skin Yummies because I was passionate about the health aspects of truly clean skincare, long before clean beauty became a phrase anyone used. For a long time, I was the only option in my area for a newly pregnant woman who wanted to clean up her routine, or for a cancer survivor like me who understood viscerally why what you put on your skin matters. I created a petroleum-free ointment substitute that could be used on any skin. I made sure every ingredient I used was effective, pure, and something I would put on my own body. Over time, 3 convictions became the foundation of everything I do: to create effective, non-toxic alternatives to everyday products, to use the highest concentration of certified organic ingredients available, to educate consumers about personal care products, ingredients, and trends, and empower them to become more conscious consumers. I have always believed that knowledge is the most powerful thing I can give someone, more powerful than any product. When you understand what's in your skincare, really understand it, you can never be misled by a label again. You become your own authority. That is what I want for you. I see myself as an artist more than anything. Formulating is creative work. There is intuition in it and beauty in it, and the deep satisfaction of making something from scratch that actually works. I hear from customers regularly about how these products have changed their routines, their skin, their confidence in what they choose to put on their bodies. Those messages never get old. Now, more than 30 years after that diagnosis, with Jack beside me, 2 children grown, and 6 grandchildren who keep me honest, I have poured everything I've learned into a course. The survival, the curiosity, the 10 years alongside a dermatologist, the stubbornness, the love for this craft, and yes, the genes. It is too valuable to keep to myself. Non-toxic by design. That is what I wish had existed when I was starting out. Clear language, real formulas, the truth about ingredients, and the encouragement to trust your own hands. I made it for you,